Da 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 da! What's my good cheer? Welcome, everybody. If you've never popped into one of my lives before, hi, I'm Cindy. We're going to give YouTube a couple of minutes to let people know I've gone live. In the meantime, we're going to have a short live today because I have been in the process of absorbing lessons, right? Sometimes it's triggered. Sometimes it's in that good influence that we're sometimes graced to receive, that sometimes is only just enough to get us to the next lesson. And then, through our choices, whether to take that lesson or not, right? And sometimes we take those lessons unintentionally, don't we? And yeah, I am absorbing. Hello, Kathy. Hello, Andrew. Oh, my goodness. Both of you guys in here tonight. Oh, wow. I would like to say, we are talking about and tackling this word forgiveness this week. And like every lesson, I don't know, it might be much, 54 cards, especially in the last few cards or words that we've chosen in that week. I have been going deep and not intentionally, right? Because on the most part, I only give it one little Google and then it's mostly in contemplation. But I think in this idea of evolution, our movement forward as human beings, right? That I delved a little bit into it in taking the perspectives of those parts of us that we don't quite understand. I was triggered, but triggered in an amazing, dazzling way today by I think he's a professor in psychology, right? And Sam Vatkin, and he was talking about how we evolve and how there's only three aspects of ourselves that we wake up to, and the three of them that he stated was nothingness, narcissism, psychosis. And I went, oh my goodness, right? Like, and it really made me really take a look at that dynamic family I come from right away. And I says, is there really more of these narcissistic traits in me than I even thought of? And that was the beginning. That was the beginning thought. And I don't know how I got to that, to this idea of how it truly impacts in our evolution, and how is it possible, or is it even possible that I'm waking up to these ideas that maybe I possibly have been my own worst instigator, right? I've taken in all the lessons, but it was only in my perspectives, in those human perspectives, possibly, that I've actually been absorbing them and not truly understanding that these lessons were leading me up to the point that possibly I might be able to understand and digest. Remember what I said, one lesson leads into the next lesson. And that in this idea and in this topic this week of forgiveness, right? That maybe, right, I am supposed to be looking at maybe giving myself a little bit of forgiveness, right? In those misunderstandings that I have as Cindy, and those misunderstandings, and in that stubbornness, and in that butting heads, and just trying to understand it or think it through, and just stressing ourselves out with just the world itself as humans. Like, all of that is compounded into us, and we become a mishmash of absolute. I actually wrote it down here. I don't know what I wrote down. The it's Oh, here it is. Oh, you guys, this might be a little bit deep, right? But this is looking at it as perspective of, I guess, any kind or anyone who has an idea that there's other parts of us, right? And sometimes those other parts of us are so scary and so big, and we can see the importance and the divine of it, that we, right, we give it to one of a gazillion ideas, religious ideas. Like, we can not look at it as truly a part of ourselves, that it's something that we're supposed to keep for ourselves, if that makes any sense, right? But this idea that I woke up today, you are not responsible for your thoughts, but you're responsible for your actions. Whew, right? But here's the kicker. I'm calling it the other. I don't like saying whoever or whatever, right? I don't, it seems almost disrespectful, like I'm brushing it off, and it's, right? It's so much bigger than I even thought, right? But I'm just going to call it the other, because I'm not fully, right, and I'm not sure if I ever will fully understand. I'm not even sure that any of us fully understand what it is. But again, like I said, sometimes we hand it off to you hand it off to Buddha, or to Jesus, or to God, or to Allah, right? Hare Krishna, Jehovah. Like, you can give it any kind of name that you want. But here's the kicker in that, not being responsible for your thoughts, but being responsible for your actions. Some of those actions has got to be in, as humans, that control over our emotions, finding those ways to help calm the system in healthy and productive ways. And especially now, when the kids are growing up to have so many problems for lots of different reasons. We can't just tag it on to the one parent families. You can't, right? You can't tag it on to these different aspects of our upbringing, right? That oh my goodness, Owen is here too. Hello, Owen. Oh my goodness, and amazing. We're tackling forgiveness, but this is something that I think I need to do, is to forgive myself again. Let's get back to that. Here's the kicker. The other is hyper beyond our understanding in the experiencing of our feelings. That's when my life, right? That's why I was never able to crawl out of that bucket, because I was never able to crawl out of that negativity of my life, right? And that painful, right, was just everywhere's in my system, everywhere's, like, right? And even though I can hide it very well, we talked about it the other day, my experience at the optometrist when I went to pick up my glasses, right? That it was such a stressful experience in ordering my glasses, that when finally, right, I ordered my glasses, I got them ordered. Oh my goodness, in about a week I'm going to have my new glasses. Oh, I'm going to feel so good, right? But when I finished that transaction, when I walked out of there, not even before I walked out of there, I was actually, when I was sitting at her desk and she was finishing up with the measurements and everything, and I kind of burst into tears over the experience. But it was a release, right? And the moment I did that, I recognized that I had been bottling up my feelings. Like, those feelings were there, but I'm so good at bottling them up that it wasn't even visible to me that I was holding all that to my system. That's absolutely amazing that I can do that. But at the same time, I have to remember how those feelings impact those other parts of me, right? It was a wake up call, and I'm delving into it, right? Because, like I said, Okay, say it again. You are not responsible for your thoughts, you're responsible for your actions. But here's the kicker: the other is hyper beyond understanding in the experience of our feelings, right? So, of those feelings, if we could choose, of course, we want to stay in that feeling of love because we're so sensitive, especially as empaths and highly sensitives, to feelings. So, we don't want the heartbreak. We don't want the grief. We don't want the terror. We don't want the anxiety, right? We don't want that stuff. We would prefer to stay in the state of love, right? And it makes sense. So, that, you know, so we try, right? We desire and strive for love, right? And in realization and understanding this binds us, right? To the human in us, right? And it binds the human to that other. Oh my goodness, it's really deep. Some of you guys might get it, some of you guys might not get it. But I am grateful that you're here with me today. I really, really am, because I've been heavy, heavy deep, and I wanted to recognize those other parts of myself and truly apologize, truly from the depth of me. If I'm going to experiment, right? We're going to experiment a little bit of pain, right? Just to see where those hiccups lie. And it's funny in the lessons, because remember I told you guys early in this week how cranky my sister was, and then we got stopped in the traffic, and I says, oh my goodness, your soul does not want you to be stressed out in a bad mood, because when you are, these kind of things happen. Right? It's in that recognition that our feelings are what dictates how our movement is going to be in our life, right? I'm giving it some more thought. Like I said, I'm just coming in just for a short live today, right? Because I wanted to maybe possibly walk home tonight, right? Give it some more thought, right? Yeah, I don't get to dictate. I don't get to dictate, but I think, right, coming in, it worked out. It worked out okay, right? And especially with you guys being here. Oh my goodness. If I could ask for anybody to be here, it would be you guys, right? I loves you. I truly do. And I hope you guys have the most amazing day, right? And I hope the gift that you gave me today, on a day that I thought was going to be pretty tough coming live, but because I wanted to go live before I left for work so that when I came home, because who knows, right? I'll be right back in it. You guys have a great day, right? Really, truly have a great day. See you tomorrow. Bye bye. Thank you.